If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
Welcome in. Just about ready to start the show. It's not a topic I like talking about, even though it's a topic I talk about a lot. So we'll start with that, see where we go. New details on how bad Joe Biden was. All that to come. Thanks for joining us. There are topics I talk a lot about on the Bruce Hooley Show. Today's a Wednesday edition, and we'll talk about a familiar topic today. Don't mistake the fact that I talk about a topic, meaning that I enjoy talking about the topic, even though I might be passionate about the topic. It is not something that I enjoy because I don't want to talk about it the wrong way. We'll be talking about the LGBTQ movement today, and I always have to be careful when I talk about it because everyone is loved by God. Everyone has the opportunity for eternal life with God through his son Jesus and what Jesus did for you at the cross. And I have to really police my tone and my temperament because the people who are encouraged and celebrated for being LGBTQ, I blame the adults and I don't blame the kids. I don't blame the kids because our culture glorifies it. The Pope said it, and this is why a lot of people are upset in the country with the Pope, the new Pope, Pope Leo, because he dared to say that the homosexual lifestyle is glorified in the media. We know it's glorified here in Columbus. Columbus is a bastion of the LGBTQ movement in the United States. It's viewed as a very gay-friendly city because it is a gay-friendly city. And the whole thing around the movement is utterly and indisputably anti-God. The co-opting of the rainbow, which was God's promise that he would never flood the earth again, is spitting in the face of God. The whole love is love is meant to back off people who are concerned about the LGBTQ movement. We've come up with euphemisms, alternative lifestyle. No, it's an immoral lifestyle. But it's supported. It's supported by Franklin County commissioners. It's supported by city council. And if you ever wondered who's more supportive of it, well, you got your answer last night. Columbus City Council, which is headed by a gay man. The president of Columbus City Council is Shannon Hardin. He is gay. They gave a $100,000 grant last night to the Kaleidoscope Youth Center. What is the Kaleidoscope Youth Center? Well, I think probably the fairest way to tell you what the Kaleidoscope Youth Center is to read right off their own webpage. It says, "Welcome to Kaleidoscope Youth Center. Queer youth of Ohio, we're here for you on your own terms, in your own power." It says youth-informed and youth-led. Everything you'll find in our center is designed for and by young people like you. Our diverse, experienced staff work alongside queer youth to create free programming, housing, and support services here in Columbus and all over the state of Ohio. If you're over 20, you're not allowed in there unless you're staff. 12 to 20. So kids who are LGBTQ can go in there, and who knows what happens once they're in there. I have my own belief. What goes on, I think they're groomed, and I think they're further enslaved to a lifestyle that will consign them to a life of misery if in fact that life does not end. I used AI today to find out what the suicide rate is among LGBTQ teenagers. According to AI, among all U.S. high school students, 22%, this is LGBTQ teenagers, 22% reported seriously considering suicide in the past year, and 10% reported attempting suicide. LGBTQ teens are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than their non-LGBTQ plus peers. 39% of LGBTQ plus young people seriously considered attempting suicide in the past year, including 46% of transgender and non-binary young people. Those are troubling numbers. They should trouble us all. And to fund an initiative that continues to trap people in this lifestyle is a failure of leadership, to say the least, and a demonic decision by Columbus City Council, in my estimation. Here is the executive director of Kaleidoscope Youth Center, Jennifer Kuhn, parroting a oft-stated viewpoint as to why there is merit in her organization existing and why those suicide numbers are as astronomically high as they are.
Spaces like Kaleidoscope Youth Center and other safer and affirming LGBTQ spaces are important because when we look at that demographic, our young people have higher rates of depression, have higher rates of suicide attempts. They struggle with other mental health issues such as addiction, dropping out of school, things like that. I think
why would that be?
Myth that it's because they're inherently that way because they're LGBTQ, but that's not true. It has to do with the fact of the stigma that society has on that population. And I mean, the most obvious example of that right now is all of the anti-LGBTQ legislation that is rampant across the country, and especially here in Ohio. And so these places are vital because it provides a space for young people to just be themselves and not have to feel like they need to hide who they are. They're free to just be a kid, be a youth, be a teen, hang out, and, you know, just be who they are.
Yeah, well, you're free to do that at a boys' club or a girls' club, too. The fact that you won't let parents in, the fact that you hide what you're doing from anybody who's over the age of 21 is highly suspicious. And I don't subscribe to this utter nonsense that, oh, kids who are LGBTQ have higher rates of suicide because people don't affirm them. It is not even arguable that if you allow a child to go their own way, they will make prudent and smart decisions about their future. We could talk about something as inconsequential as what would your child eat for breakfast? If everything in your freezer, your refrigerator, and your pantry were open to them, what would they have for breakfast? Would they have like eggs, sausage, bacon, something that'll give them protein, something that'll give them, or would they have ice cream, potato chips? Like, young people are not geared and should not be expected, and in fact cannot be expected to make good decisions about their behavior. The Bible is replete with admonitions to discipline your children and to provide structure and boundaries and to lead them. It is incumbent upon parents to do this. It should be noted that there has never, ever been a gay gene identified. You often hear, this is how God made me. This is how I am. That is not supported by science. There are genes that predispose people to becoming alcoholics. There are no genes that have ever been identified in human biology as being a precursor to being gay, which of course is true because God would not make someone in a manner which would subject them to a lifestyle that is condemned throughout Scripture. I don't like talking about this, but let's just approach it from a political perspective, okay? If you had someone on Columbus City Council who was affiliated or was a subscriber to an ideology and then rewarded that ideology with a $100,000 grant, let's say you had an evangelical Christian as the head of Columbus City Council, and then that evangelical Christian wanted to and led the fight for a $100,000 grant to evangelize Columbus. Would that be okay with the citizens of the city of Columbus? Shannon Hardin is a gay man. He's a grown man. He can make his own decisions, but he should not be leading and having other council members join him in giving your tax dollars to something that is a political ideology that he shares, that he trumpets. They can wrap this in all the other gobbledygook that they will, and you know it. You've heard it all the time. This is, I was going to say there's nothing I can do about it, but look, I'm doing what I can. You should be outraged by this. You should be outraged that Kevin Boyce led the way for the Franklin County Commissioners to give $50,000 to the Pride Parade. This is unacceptable from elected officials who are charged with stewarding your tax dollars.
Afternoon, shower and thunderstorm, high today at 76. For tonight, clouds this evening, clearing late, low 62. For tomorrow, bright with the sun, humid, warmer day. Maybe a severe thunderstorm by nightfall, the high tomorrow at 84. Mostly sunny, wind passing shower on Friday, the high again 84. A thunderstorm in the morning on Saturday, otherwise partly sunny and breezy. By Saturday at 77. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
I'm CPA Brad Hennebert with Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. We'll prepare a comprehensive tax plan to maximize your deductions and minimize the tax you pay, and present you with money-saving options you may not have ever considered. We'll update your financial position each quarter, so there are no nasty surprises at tax time. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have consultations with our clients throughout the year because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at Premier Tax CPAs at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. The firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
If you're living with chronic pain, the one thing you want to know before you undergo any kind of medical procedure is there a track record of proven success with this procedure? Well, I'm Bruce Hooley here to tell you that QC Kinetics is getting results all across the country. And you say, well, great for them, but what about us? Well, QC Kinetics has clinics in Dublin, Gahanna, Grove City, and Canal Winchester. And Dr. Aaron Wolkoff and his team are getting amazing results with regenerative cell therapy. What do you think it does? It restores the tissue in your achy joints. Now, these biologic growth factors offer robust healing properties. Your blood is equipped to heal your body. You cut your finger, you sprain your ankle. You don't go to the doctor for that. Your body heals itself. That's essentially how QC Kinetics works, with the assistance of more healing agents from your blood in the affected area. You should check it out for yourself and let the doctors explain it to you. A free consultation is a phone call away. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. Live pain-free with QC Kinetics.
Your dog's diet should be as colorful as yours. Dr. Fido's is a dog food topper made with 40 ingredients made from whole foods, designed to enrich your dog's diet with a variety of fruits, vegetables, spices, and fibers. And the best part, just stir into their food and you're done. It's that easy. Go to drfidos.com and order today. Vet developed, dog trusted. This is the human grade dog food topper that gives you peace of mind. But don't just take our word for it.
She's an Australian cattle dog on the farm. She's been used to work cattle and lots of miles under her feet. And she is happier on the Dr. Fido's. I've been super impressed.
Don't let your dog miss out. Call 888-388-7297 or go to drphytos.com, drphytos.com. And for a limited time, order now and receive a 10% discount with our money-back guarantee by using promo code MikeG.
Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com. We got to jump on this, man. These tuition discounts are legit. Ohio Christian University, Valor Christian University. Why would you pay $2,500 more to send your kid to either one of those schools? And you absolutely have to. Tell your friends, if you hear they're going to OCU, you hear they're going to Valor Christian, hey, I listen to Bruce Hooley. He tells me the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com allows you to spend $2,500 and get a $5,000 tuition certificate. We still have plenty of these available, but I guess my guesstimate is that the closer we get to enrollment, people are going to go, oh, yeah, I meant to do that, and I haven't done it yet. And then by that time, poof, they'll be gone. So act now, get in early. OCU, Valor Christian, both great places to go. Your child will not return to you someone you don't recognize anymore because of their political beliefs. They'll have a more strong biblical foundation under them. Discount Shopping Club, available 989theanswer.com by clicking shopping. So it just sickens me that people who make decisions on how taxpayer dollars are stewarded have prioritized LGBTQ initiatives in Central Ohio. The Franklin County Commissioners gave $50,000 to Stonewall Columbus for the Pride Parade. They will not give $1 to any initiative that really helps people, like Adult Teen Challenge Ohio. You can give to Adult Teen Challenge Ohio by going to adultteenchallengeohio.org. Nobody ever came away from a Pride Parade after seeing men with their butt cheeks exposed from leather chaps with their life changed, like adultteenchallengeohio.org changes the lives of women trapped in addiction. Shouldn't Franklin County Commissioners be concerned with women trapped in all forms of addiction and human trafficking and prostitution and drugs? Yeah, but they're rather put on a immoral, obscene parade. And then Columbus City Council doubles that. They double down. They give $100,000 to the Kaleidoscope Youth Center, which is an organization where you are not allowed to get in if you're over 20. But if you're 12 to 20, well, they'll welcome you in. Oh, yes, because I can't even go into it. But what really is shocking to me is that in this dispatch story about Kaleidoscope Youth Center portraying itself as a victim because Donald Trump and the Trump administration have cracked down on the gender madness and have stated bold biblical truth that there are two sexes and genders, a made-up construct. Look at this in this story. The Ohio Attorney General's office gives Kaleidoscope Youth Center a grant through the Victims of Crime Act. What? The Ohio Attorney General's office? Dave Yost, strong Christian man. I wonder if Dave knows about this. I presume Dave knows about this. Why are we giving money in the state of Ohio, supermajority Republican House of Representatives, Senate, led by a man who wants to be our next governor, but has virtually no chance because everybody on the Republican side of the aisle, including the Center for Christian Virtue, lines up behind Vivek Ramaswamy. Why is the Ohio Attorney General's office giving the Kaleidoscope Youth Center a grant? And then the Ohio Department of Health, which of course, this doesn't surprise me because the organization under Mike DeWine as governor was headed by Dr. Amy Acton. Its youth homelessness program gives money to the Kaleidoscope Youth Center. It's just despicable. But we are descending into an immoral slide in Ohio because here we go. Nathan Manning, Republican state representative from North Ridgeville. That's near Cleveland. Well, he's introducing a new bill in the Ohio legislature. which will allow Ohioans to buy lottery tickets and play casino games from their smartphones, tablets, and laptops. Oh, good. Let's make it easier for people to gamble money they likely cannot afford to lose, and most definitely will lose if they are gambling. This would be a massive expansion of gambling in the state of Ohio, which they say, they being the legislators, it would generate hundreds of millions of dollars for state coffers. Yes, and ruin innumerable lives in the process. Remember, I looked this up. I thought maybe I imagined this, okay? Because it happened in my youth. And what do we have a big tussle, a big fight about right now in the state of Ohio? Property tax reform, school funding. A lot of people are upset about school funding. And so I thought to myself, we got this new gambling proposal. We've got casino gambling and we got sports gambling. And now we want to make it so you can like play games and gamble from your smartphone, which you can already do on gambling apps like FanDuel and others. So now we've got a Republican from North Central East Ohio doing his dead level best to pass a bill into law to make it easier to gamble in the state of Ohio. Yeah, let's give that gambling runway to an 18-year-old kid still in high school. Great idea. Great idea. Oh, look who else is on top of this. Ohio Finance Chairman Brian Stewart. He's here locally. Brian Stewart. I know he represents Madison County. He's also working on a bill to legalize online lottery and gambling. That's another reason why Patty Hamilton should have won that seat. If people knew what they were voting for and who they were voting for, she would have. So I digress. I thought to myself, did I imagine when the Ohio Lottery was created? What was it created for? If you're of my generation, what was the Ohio Lottery created for? It was my assumption that the Ohio Lottery was created to finance education. So I think we're still doing the lottery. Why are we short on educational funding? Why are stupid idiots in the state house trying to force school boards not to carry over any cash balances for roofs, busing? You know what a new bus costs? 180 grand. Oh, you can't carry over any cash. No, don't do that. I was right. I used AI. The Ohio Lottery was created in 1973. First lottery tickets were sold in 1974 with the launch of the Buckeye 300 game. While profits, this is from AI, while profits were not initially earmarked for education, the expectation and later legislative action in 1983 and 1987 directed lottery proceeds to supplement funding for Ohio educational systems, which reinforced the argument that the lottery would benefit the public good. Has it? Has gambling benefited the public good? Do we have enough money in the state of Ohio despite all the millions of dollars that are gambled? And now we're going to make more millions of dollars available. And DeWine wants to hike the gambling tax to 40%, which I would be perfectly fine with. This is troubling to me because we are encouraging bad habits. We are financing bad habits. We are enabling bad habits. And that's troubling to me because I just don't think our decision makers are making the good decisions we charge them with making.
With SRN News, I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. President Trump flew from Saudi Arabia to Qatar today, the second stop on his Mideast trip. And it was another red carpet welcome for the American president. Air Force One was escorted by Qatari F-15 jets during the arrival. Donald Trump and Qatar's leaders signed economic and defense agreements. Before leaving Riyadh, the president met with Syria's interim president as the U.S. prepares to lift long-running sanctions against that country. A House committee voted along party lines to advance key elements of the Trump legislative package that includes spending cuts and tax breaks. It now goes to another committee. The House Speaker has set Memorial Day as a deadline to send the measure over to the Senate. Flooding in rural western Maryland has forced the evacuation of an elementary school. Mid-Atlantic states were drenched by heavy rains. This is SRN News.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. As Executive Director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of two, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me, and it can work for you.
He's the voice of a new generation, willing to fight for what's right in the greatest country ever conceived. He's Charlie Kirk, and you can hear him weekdays from 1 to 3 on your station for news, opinion, and passion. 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Has the recent storms impacted your house? The Metal Roof Company not only specializes in working with your insurance company, but also specializes in all trades on the outside of your home. Roofing, siding, soffit, fascia, gutters, windows, and in some cases we can install a metal roof for the same price as a shingle roof. So remember folks, don't settle, buy metal. Call 614-721-ROOF or reach out to us on the web at themetalroofcompany.com. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484.
News, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer, and 98.9theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers. Tune in or iHeart.
Good night's sleep last night. I look forward to a good night's sleep every single night because I'm comfortable. Why am I comfortable? Well, many reasons. My MyPillow mattress topper, my MyPillow. But I don't even know if I can say primarily. But certainly I would not be comfortable if I did not have Giza Dream bed sheets. Because I've had those sheets before where you have the high thread count and then you wash them a few times. And then it feels like you are sleeping on sandpaper. That will not happen to you if you get Giza Dream bed sheets. They are from MyPillow. They are made from the world's best cotton. And they are very affordable. Never more affordable than now. Always before. The larger your bed, the more you had to pay for your Giza Dream bed sheets. But Mike Lindell has just slashed the prices on all, I said all, Giza Dream bed sheets to $49.98. Yes, that's right. If you have a California king like I do, a split king, I don't even know what that is, a king, a queen, or any size, $49.98. You also get $100 in digital gifts if you order more than $100 from MyPillow.com and use my promo code Bruce. All right, it is not a shock to you that the media is corrupt and that they are full of liars and that anything they tell you is completely and utterly untrue. CNN markets itself as the most trusted name in news. Well, now that's a more difficult case to make than ever before, since the newest book detailing the cognitive decline of Joe Biden is co-authored by CNN's own finger-wagging anchor, Jake Tapper. The book is called, I don't know, why would I even publicize it? It's written with Alex Thompson of Axios, who at least was asking some questions of the Biden administration. He didn't get any answers, and he didn't really dig too hard. But Jake Tapper to have his name on a book, Original Sin, talking about the Joe Biden cognitive decline, as if he knew nothing about it, as if he didn't defend it to the hilt, is, I don't know what's worse. CNN continuing to allow him on the air, or Jake Tapper for having the temerity to go on his own network as a guest and say incredibly indefensible things like this.
The Biden White House tried to hide the extent of the deterioration.
Oh, the Biden White House.
Physical and cognitive as much as possible. In fact, as we all know, we all saw, as his shuffling gait got worse and worse.
Wait, we all saw it?
2003 to 2004, they started putting aides around him as he walked to Marine One, the helicopter, that was to kind of hide from public view how bad his gait was, how bad his walking was, his shuffling, and also in case he stumbled again to make sure somebody was there. And this is just of a piece of an overall campaign to try to conceal from the American people the extent to which the president was really struggling to do his job.
Oh, the president was struggling to do his job. Oh, I agree with that. You know who else was struggling to do their job? You were struggling to do your job. When they put the aides around him, did you ask why? You say, I noticed early on in the Joe Biden presidency, he walked out to Marine One by himself. Now I notice that he's surrounded by other people. You know what else I noticed? I noticed he's not wearing dress shoes. I noticed he's wearing tennis shoes. You know what else I noticed? I noticed that after he fell up the big set of stairs to Air Force One, he now goes up the short set of stairs. And I noticed there's always a handrail. And I noticed that when he gets done with a speech, he turns to the left, to the right, not having any idea where he's going. Did Jake Tapper ask any of those questions? No, of course he did not ask any of those questions. And we all know why, because he did not want Joe Biden to lose the 2024 presidential election. So nary is heard or was heard a discouraging word. But it got worse. There's more of Tapper's interview on CNN, where he absolves himself of all responsibility for doing what he's paid millions of dollars to do, which is ask the questions that his viewers want answered but can't ask themselves.
Well, Alex Thompson and I were on the case, as were lots of other reporters, trying to figure out what was going on behind the scenes. But bottom line is the White House was lying, not only to the press, to the public, but they were lying to members of their own cabinet. They were lying to White House staffers. They were lying to Democratic members of Congress, to donors, about how bad things had gotten. And in fact, Alex and I started writing this book after the election.
Oh, good timing.
And we spoke with more than 200 people, most of whom, almost all of whom, were Democrats. And almost all of whom wouldn't be honest with us or wouldn't be candid with us until after the election. And then after the election, we found out all of these things that when you looked at what was going on with President Biden at the time, it probably doesn't surprise you the extent to which he was deteriorating. But now we have anecdotes and facts about what was really going on behind the scenes with details that Democrats wouldn't share with us until after election day.
You know why they wouldn't share it with you? Because you didn't ask them. That's why. It's just too bad. I mean, it's really unfortunate that Jake Tapper doesn't have a big platform where he could go on, say, a national television show, which he hosts every night on CNN, and say, why is Joe Biden not available to the press? Why does he never take questions? Why does he never sit down and do an interview? It's just too bad. It never occurred to Jake Tapper. You know what did occur to Jake Tapper? Terming Donald Trump's contention that the 2020 election was conducted in a fashion that was suspicious, that was to Jake Tapper the big lie. That was the big lie. This is the real big lie. You know, and we can get caught up in Jake Tapper's journalistic failures, which are epic and innumerable. And I will give you ample evidence of that here momentarily. But don't get distracted, okay? Like Jake Tapper and everybody else in big legacy media, they were like the cat and watching the laser, right? The questions, as aggravating as it is that they weren't asked and that none of them commented on it. And in fact, all of them defended Joe Biden. Oh, he's a stutterer, he's a meanie, talking about he can't put words together. Oh, cheap fakes, blah, 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 blah. The real question is, who was president? Who was president? And why are none of these people from the Biden administration called before Congress to account for their actions? Who made this decision? Who made that decision? Why? You want to talk, they talk about a constitutional crisis. They talk about all kinds of things that they accuse the Trump administration of doing. And as I always say, Democrats, when they accuse you of doing something, it's because they're doing it themselves. All right, here's just a snippet of the duplicity Jake Tapper engaged in. Lara Trump was on CNN a couple of years before I think this clip is from 2022. She makes a statement. Listen to how Jake Tapper attacks her.
What we see on stage with Joe Biden, Jake, is very clearly a cognitive decline. Okay. That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable to watch somebody on stage
it's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline.
She has absolutely no standing. And Jake is not interested in doing anything other than defending Joe Biden. He talked about the stutter, talked about the cheap fakes. He and others, Corinne Jean-Pierre and others. And by the way, if Tapper is to be believed, if he is to be believed that he was misled by the White House, that he couldn't crack the code at the White House, he is in effect saying that he and all the other journalists at CNN, at Axios, at Politico, at ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, who is he saying outsmarted them? Corinne Jean-Pierre. The great Jake Tapper is not smart enough to corner Corinne Jean-Pierre and get her to admit to lying. The stooge Antony Blinken. Antony Blinken is such a brilliant guy. Jake Sullivan, Susan Rice, Pete Buttigieg in the cabinet. All these people were able to pull one over on the mighty Jake Tapper and all the other people who have every answer to every question except what was right in front of them when the Easter Bunny was leading Joe Biden around the South Lawn at the White House. And none of them saw it. And now Tapper's going to profit off of it. This is how Democrats work. They lie to you, and then they want to congratulate themselves for seeing what all of us saw months ago that they lectured us about and told us we were crazy to notice. And they want us to reward them for finally noticing what we all saw years ago.
Mostly cloudy this afternoon, shower and thunderstorm high today at 76. For tonight, clouds this evening, clearing late, low 62. For tomorrow, breaks of sun, humid, warmer day. Maybe a severe thunderstorm by nightfall. The high tomorrow at 84. Mostly sunny, warm, passing shower on Friday. The high again 84. A thunderstorm in the morning on Saturday, otherwise and breezy. Saturday at 77. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM. The Answer.
Passengers age when you can drive.
Healthspan clinics in Columbus, Ohio lead in stem cell therapy for longevity. Their exclusive Time Machine 3.0 harvests your own stem cells in a single minimally invasive visit, boosting energy, reducing inflammation, and restoring vitality. No delays, no rejection, just results. Discover the science of living better at health-span-clinics.com. Healthspan Clinics, redefining aging. As a local business owner, you get called every week by marketing companies. We get it. We have hundreds of satisfied customers. Here's what a satisfied client recently said.
The enrollment is going great. We're hitting record numbers. Thank you so much for this report. It really is amazing to see how the marketing is really shaping our enrollment around the city. If your local business is ready to take the next step, Google Sales Surround Columbus right now. Our experts are ready to help you take your marketing to the next level. Google Sales Surround Columbus today.
Attention American homeowners, you're under attack. Your home and equity could be vulnerable to cyber thieves. There's only one company that completely stops them, and that company is Equity Protect. Equity Protect prevents any attempts to steal your home, equity, and ownership 24/7. Get your free risk report today by texting the word home to 94878. That's right, text the word home to 94878 to get your free risk report. Keep your equity and legacy safe with Equity Protect. Are you among the millions of Americans living with chronic pain? If so, you may think prescription opioids are the solution. The truth is, the benefits of opioids are limited. Opioids only mask the pain. Opioids also come with serious side effects, ranging from nausea to withdrawal symptoms to overdose. As many as 25% of people with prescribed opioids struggle with addiction. And those who are addicted to opioids are 40 times more likely to move on to heroin. No one wants to live in pain, but no one should put their health at risk to be pain-free. There is another choice: physical therapy. Physical therapists treat pain through movement and exercise, no warning labels required, and you get to be an active participant in your care. Choose to treat your pain safely. Choose physical therapy. Visit moveforwardpc.com to find a physical therapist near you. This public service announcement is brought to you by the American Physical Therapy Association.
My sister Katie and I love to shop. Well, mostly window shop. She means we're thorough. She means we're bargain hunters. Exactly. But my sister Kelly showed me an article that made me change a really bad habit, just wanting us to do what's right. See, at one time, I just couldn't stay away from those bargain knockoffs. You know, the handbags and scarves sold on the street. Counterfeit merchandise. Ooh. You make it sound so illegal. Well, it is stealing. Ouch. I wouldn't steal. I didn't realize that this sort of stealing can lead to more Americans losing their jobs. So, no more buying fakes and knockoffs, right? Right. Just honest bargain hunting. Now you're talking.
Remember, counterfeits hurt, but you have the power to stop them. To learn more, go to www.ncpc.org/getreal. That's ncpc.org/getreal. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the Bureau of Justice Assistance, U.S. Department of Justice.
I'm headed up Arlington this afternoon after I finish the show at 1 o'clock. Can't wait to meet with Beverly and see her beautiful home and confer about whether or not I can help her with her flooring needs. So if you're in that situation and you'd like to get another opinion, something other than a big box store, I would love to have the honor of meeting you and telling you what I can do for you. Any kind of flooring that you're looking for, if it's carpet, if it's luxury vinyl plank. You say, well, do you do hardwood? No, not really. And the reason why is because hardwood is outdated. It scratches. It's not waterproof. It is expensive to refinish it or to install it. You're out of your house for like a week. And if you're refinishing it, you got dust everywhere. No. Go with a no maintenance product that is eternal and indestructible, like luxury vinyl plank flooring or beautiful carpet. Love to help you. Go to brucehooley.com, click flooring, brucehooley.com, and click flooring. Just to follow up a little bit on the duplicity of Jake Tapper, the temerity of Jake Tapper, CNN, writing a book now, profiting off the decline of Joe Biden, which Jake Tapper refused to acknowledge or even consider during Joe Biden's term in office, besides the ambushing of Lara Trump saying, you have no medical degree. You cannot possibly weigh in on that with any kind of authority. During one CNN segment, this according to the Federalist, which has a story out today, 9 times Jake Tapper on air denied Joe Biden's decline. You can find that on my social media. During one CNN segment, Tapper dismissed claims made to the Wall Street Journal about President Biden's mental fitness and acuity as false. Yes, false, until I decide to read about it or write about it. And then you should all read about it, buy my book, and help make me richer than I already am. Now, you might think that after this highly embarrassing instance, a memo would go out at CNN and they would say, hey, I know y'all hate Trump, but we cannot put the reputation of our network at risk by defending the indefensible, okay? So knock it off with the Biden was cognitively sharp, and knock it off with the Kamala Harris was a great candidate and ran a great campaign. No, you would be wrong on that, because this is a snippet from CNN's panel last night. This is Abby Phillips and Bakari Sellers and Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. Mr. Wonderful is bringing the truth, and the people on CNN just, well, they don't want, it's not only that they don't want to hear it, it is that they are outright denying it. And Kevin O'Leary is not having it. And here he is schooling Bakari Sellers and Abby Phillips on the reality of Kamala Harris. Remember, this is CNN's opportunity to say, okay, yeah, some of the stuff we've been telling you is not true. Now we're going to really stand for journalistic integrity. Not so much.
There's nothing about Kamala Harris that's a loser. Let's just put it.
Nothing.
I think there is. She lost big time. You got it. She lost in the last round.
All right. Listen, we are not going to. Hold on.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking facts. She got slaughtered because they disavowed the process. They anointed her and she got slaughtered.
I just want to.
That's what happened. We don't have to debate facts. We do not have to debate facts.
Hold on a second. Kevin, just one point of clarification. She was elected. She was elected in 2020 on the same ticket as Joe Biden. So there's that. We got to leave it there for this conversation. But coming up next, oh, come on, that's true.
Oh, O'Leary says she got slaughtered. She was horrific. And they're like, oh, no. And then Abby Phillips makes the ridiculous case. Oh, she was elected. She was elected in 2020 when Joe Biden was elected. Yeah, like riding along on his coattails was her magic carpet ride to within a heartbeat of the presidency. No, they're not going to change. They're not going to change at CNN. Forget it. You know what else is not going to change? The danger of pit bulls. Yesterday, we had a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy bitten in the face by a pit bull. It's always the pit bull when a dog attacks. Almost always the pit bull. Oh, but they're so loving, Bruce. You just don't understand them. Oh, no, I understand them. They're mauling little girls. They are killing old women, which has happened in Central Ohio. And now they are biting Franklin County Sheriff's deputies in the face. These deputies were chasing a 55-year-old man who was fleeing from them, Marty Bass of Groveport. So Mr. Bass then decides to abandon his vehicle and flee on foot, leaving the driver's side door open. And when the Franklin County Sheriff's deputies pulled up, the pit bull jumps out of the car and bites one of them in the face. Pit bulls should be eradicated from the face of the earth. There is no reasonable, defendable reason for pit bulls to live. Exterminate them. That is my position and will always be my position. Now, I did not take a position yesterday on the arrest of Ohio State women's basketball coach Kevin McGuff for driving drunk. Because, you know, it felt like there were bigger fish to fry, news-wise. But I now have, as you have if you go online, access to the body cam video of Kevin McGuff's arrest. Now, listen, I talked to Kevin McGuff a couple of times. I don't think he's the best women's basketball coach in the world. In fact, I think, be able to make a plausible case that he has underachieved as Ohio State's women's basketball coach. But I don't wish him any ill. He's a very well-paid man. He's paid $1 million a year to coach women's basketball. His salary's $675. He gets the rest of it through media, you know, obligations and the like. But I now am taking a position on the arrest of Kevin McGuff because I do not believe he is equipped to be a leader of young women or young people, because here is the audio from the body cam footage of Columbus police or Dublin police when they arrested Kevin McGuff, who was called to their attention. A person in the area saw Kevin McGuff driving erratically, hitting curbs, followed him to his home, and then called Dublin police. This is how it sounded when they met him at the door of his car before he got out of the car. Yeah, that's when they arrested. Those are not difficult things to do for somebody who has their faculties about. That's bad judgment. You can't have people with that kind of egregious judgment imperiling other people's safety and his own, leading young people. I don't think Ohio State will do anything about this, but they should.
There's something very dangerous in your home. It could be hiding in the house.
So by Jake Tapper's logic and reasoning for what Laura Trump is, she's not qualified. To me, there's heat to support it. We all know what we see and can observe. I don't have an earth science degree, but I have gravity.
Did you hear the footage of Kevin McGuff's arrest for DUI?
No.
Oh, here, listen.
Kyle
medical
Snyder.
conditions that would have affected driving?
No. This is the.
Could you say your alphabet from D to R without singing it?
So D.
And continue to the letter R.